The Russian Popeye keeps getting worse. See, his giant bazooka arms turned him into a celebrity, but they made his health so bad, he started fearing for his own life and promised to remove them.
My arm is inflamed and I can't eat anything. It's very bad.
Except now he seems to be doing anything except getting the surgery that might help him survive. In fact, his content has become so strange, people believe the substances in his arms are also affecting his brain.
It's muscle big, nice.
But is Russian Popeye really in danger? And if he is, why is he acting like this instead of saving himself? Well, here's everything we know so far. See, this guy called Kirill injected a substance called synthol oil straight into his muscles so that they would look bigger.
There's more jelly in this man's body than there is in a fruit gusher.
But the thing about synthol is that it's got some very sus side effects. In fact, with time, Kirill realized that it had stopped blood flow to his muscles, so they were turning into scar tissue.
I have had severe inflammation for 2 years.
Until his doctors gave him a serious warning. If he didn't remove the oil from his arms, he might end up having to amputate them. Or even worse, he could end up passing away from complications. So Kirill finally listened and had one first surgery.
I'm gonna have surgery on my bazooka arms. The surgery will be very complicated and risk. I'm very nervous.
But he still needs at least 2 more, and now instead of getting them, he seems too busy flexing his huge arms once again.
Hello guys, my arms strong.
And it's not just the flexing, the videos he uploads are also very strange.
Sport professional, Mr. Olympia.
In fact, he's so delusional, sometimes he even describes his muscles as natural.
5 years training in gym every day, dumbbell, yes.
So now people are divided between those that think the synthol is affecting Kirill's brain and those who are just fearing for his life. Please go get the surgery, bro. One day this dude's finna stop posting and we already know why. They're afraid Kirill won't get the surgery because he just seems too proud of his arms. And what makes things even worse is that this body that he constantly flexes isn't even strong. Because even though the oil made his muscles bigger, it's just not the same as actual training. In fact, when Kirill was in a slap competition, all it took was one single slap to knock him out. And when he did an MMA fight with a man who was 20 years older, he also lost.
Во втором раунде приемом армбар Олег Монгол!
So why is Kirill so obsessed with keeping a body that isn't even fit, that leads some people to make fun of him, and that is putting his life in danger? Well, the answer might be in his past. See, when Kirill was still a normal-looking guy, he tried going to the gym, but he just couldn't gain muscle.
Я занимался стабильно в зале, 2,5 года прозанимался, ел 6 раз в день.
And when he was called for military service, he worried about losing weight and ending up even thinner. So when he came back, he decided to get some alterations like lip fillers, calf surgery, and of course the synthol.
Опа! 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 Опа!
And at first, it seemed like it did make his life better. He was finally recognized as a bodybuilder and even starred in a music video. But now, the same substance that changed his life might be the very thing that ends it, and the person who should be the most concerned just doesn't seem to care. What do you think? Will Kirill finally come to his senses and get the surgeries? Or is this someone who won't admit they're making a mistake until it's too late?